Flip the table, punch the mic.
Maybe? Mic punch. Oh. I just thought that referred to punching the mic. So I
My brain's just going, Hulk smash!
So, welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We are two friends in fibre who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. It's episode 229, I'm told. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
Diana calls Waterloo, Ontario home, and I currently call Winnipeg, Manitoba home from a new location that looks exactly like the old location, only the doors flipped.
It looks remarkably similar.
To be fair, when we started organizing the office, the desk was against the wall behind me, so you guys were going to just have all wall. Just didn't work out that way for spacing, so we had to, as my sibling says, play real-life Tetris to get it to work. And look, we got it to work.
How it goes.
The
Yay!
yarn cubes are taller than the screen. It only shows the bottom two. There's two more going up. Like, it goes to the roof.
Ooh, raise the roof with the yarn.
Pretty much. But I have officially moved. I am in my new space, if you cannot tell from the copious amounts of boxes and random piles of stuff at the edges of frames. Background noise is now brought to you by the fact the freezer lives in the office with me because it's the only way my rocking chair would fit in my apartment. All right, now that I've babbled, because I have one knitting project this week. Now that I've babbled, Diana, what's in your cup?
Today I am drinking some pomegranate vanilla white tea from All Things Tea.
Oh, it sounds good.
I even remembered to bring the packet. Look at me go.
Whew.
And honestly, it tastes vanilla and smells pomegranate, but it doesn't taste pomegranate at all. It just tastes vanilla, but mostly it's just a very lightly flavored white tea. It's very lovely.
Oh, good. I feel like I live too close to Estella's Bakery and a Hudson Bagel Shop.
So fresh baked goods all the time.
Ugh, yes. So very much so.
That's all right. I found a local bakery that you can order online and then your breakfast shows up for you fresh on Saturday morning.
And you're not, please tell me you're doing this like every week.
Well, it started out, they had like whole breakfast subscriptions, and I'm like, so we just had like month-long breakfast subscriptions, and we're like, okay, this is a lot of carbs for two people. Maybe we should like pare this down. So now we have to actually remember every week, because we can't just do like a big month-long subscription. We have to actually remember each week to order our croissants and our bread, and we don't remember every week.
Well, that's what timers and reminders are for.
It is indeed.
Itchy nose.
But it's so nice. It's like the bread shows up at like 10:30ish on a Saturday morning. It's like, okay, well, I guess it's time to start the day. Some fresh baked bread that was probably in the oven like 2 hours ago. So good. It's just on my doorstep now. Good times.
Whatever. I figure I gotta switch prescriptions around next week. I'll have absolutely earned Stella's lemonade.
Oh,
and
yes.
some cookies, I think. All the walking. I'm also totally within 20 minutes on foot walking distance from our local yarn store here in the city. So
Sounds
that puts
potentially
me
dangerous.
within 30 minutes of a Tom Bargain and
Oh no.
I'm near all the good stuff. Very happy.
So I'm just trying to read how to finish off the end of my heel, because I'm pretty sure I just knit around. I am finished the heel. Haha. We'll talk about that shortly.
Okay. Well, in which case I'll let everybody know I'm drinking the first cup of tea from the bowl of tea that I pulled out, which was turmeric ginger, probably because it was the last thing that was added to the bowl of tea bags. So that is what I'm having today, because that's what I grabbed.
Always a solid choice.
In my mind, yep. So that's what we got going on. I'm not wearing anything wool or cotton related because it's too hot for clothes.
Yeah, it was a hot one here, and we were actually having reasonable like highs of 23 today and yesterday. but I haven't gone anywhere. So there's been no reason to wear wool.
None. Soon though. We're in August. We're getting there.
Eventually. Oh no, don't drop the stitch. Don't drop the stitch. Okay, we're good. We're
Okay.
covered.
Like
I
we're waiting
recovered. It's fine.
with bated breath.
We're good. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
Shall we talk about things we're working on? Or
We probably should talk
on?
about things we're working. In a weird turn of events, aka Jocelyn was actually, just too busy to knit, which is the only way I have more projects.
I literally moved. I was packing boxes and I had less time. There were people in my house moving me to an apartment. Literally moved this week. Then I had to find everything.
I guess I can talk about the sock that I just dropped a stitch on. But hey, I dropped and then I fixed.
Okay.
But hey, it's that sock that I've been working on for ages. But hey, look, I just finished the heel. So look at that. The sock is officially half done. The other sock is already done. So eventually I will finish these socks of guilt and shame. And then I can go back to the Diana socks that I actually want to be knitting right now. But first I must finish the socks of guilt and shame for Mr. Diana that are now 2 solid months overdue. I don't like that math.
Well,
that's bad math.
You know how you got here. You did it to yourself.
I did do it to myself. Yeah, so they're plain vanilla socks with the fish kiss lips. Wait.
Wow.
Fish lips kiss heel. I got that less than 50% right the first time.
It's like your favorite sock heel.
It is. Ooh, okay, so that heel, and it's a vanilla sock. I think I said that already. And I was also going to say that the yarn is from Fireweed Fiber Co. Was this April yarn? I don't even remember anymore. It's the red-breasted nuthatch. Yeah. It's this pretty one. Oh, come on. Come on. Why are you focusing on my background? This is terrible. This is terrible. Wow. Okay,
super blurry.
Fine. Yeah, that's thanks, camera. Thanks.
It's your cameraman.
Yeah, I don't know. This AI cameraman is gonna be out of work soon. Okay, that's my first thing. Do I need to keep going? I have 3 things. My third thing has 3 parts.
I have 1.
My hat, it has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat.
So guess you go again and then I go.
Okay.
Because I have dream knitting, which is just holding up yarn.
Then the other thing that I've been working on is hey, remember how we extended that knit along so that I'd have time to finish the thing? Hey, look, I knit like 4 rows. I'm doing so well. We even gave ourselves an extension and I'm still failing.
I think I know where the project is at this point in the move.
Yeah. So, very little progress on this one. This is the Mohairino Medley by Stephen West for our spring cleaning cal. It is now almost fall. I have not been very successful in my spring cleaning, evidently. Yep. That's where that's at. That's just had very little knitting on it this week. I've been trying to work on the socks of guilt and shame because, I see them and I am filled with guilt and shame and it's not nice.
Wow. It's all self-inflicted guilt and shame. You don't have to feel guilt and shame. You just choose to.
Yeah, well, then I have whimpery husband going, "You're not knitting on my socks." And then there's guilt and shame.
You promised someone socks for their birthday.
I did. This chica.
I wasn't born yesterday. I don't do that sort of thing.
It was very foolish of me. Promise things for a deadline. What was I thinking?
My grayscale socks continue to grow. I put the heel in a little while ago. and we're making slow progress up the length of my foot. There's nothing fancy. It is the only thing I have been working on the little bit of free time that I've had. But I am about halfway to 2/3 way up my leg of my foot. So we are slowly making progress on these very basic vanilla socks. I like doing a mock short row heel. I literally watched a YouTube tutorial on mock short row heel where she has it done in garter, or in stockinette, I should say. I just knit mine in garter, and then I have a garter short row heel that doesn't involve short rows because it's a pretend short row heel, and I likes it. The goal is, or was, to have these socks, this last sock, because it's the last of a pair. And how do I know? I know where the other one of the sock is because I put it on the sock blocker. And the only way to get the sock blocker to the new house was to pack the sock blocker in my suitcase because it was the only thing big enough for the sock blockers. So I know exactly where the other sock is at the moment.
This is good.
I wanted to get them done because I wanted these needles free for when the Jocelyn socks got released. And they're being released on Wednesday, which is today. We hope. That's Nikki's plan. So hopefully nothing's gone wrong and she's been able to stick to the plan. Because what I want to do is cast on socks with my name.
Yes.
I
shall have to cast on some of those after I finish the ones with my name.
Mm-hmm.
Because yours have slipped stitches, if I recall. I don't remember.
Mine has no ribbing.
No ribbing.
No
Nice.
ribbing. So
yeah.
Excited. So excited. So I'm going to continue to madly work like a fiend on these when I don't literally fall into bed and fall asleep.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. A couple more long days and I should be fully caught up, and that's where I need to be. And it's worth it because then I don't have boxes at the end of next week. My apartment is done. There's nothing pending, there's nothing waiting, there's nothing I gotta deal with. It is done and pulled out and ready for living. So
then you don't have the room of guilt and shame full of boxes like we have.
Nope, not gonna happen. I don't think so.
Socks of guilt and shame, the room of guilt and shame. I don't know.
Yeah, you're very down on yourself.
I have a closet of guilt and shame over there, and that's what closets and storage rooms are for all the guilt and the shame.
Nope.
That you don't want to deal with.
My storage room will be organized.
Ugh. It took us like 5 years of living in the Winnipeg apartment to actually have our storage room organized.
No, thank you. Nope. I've got stacks of cardboard boxes with cut up cardboard boxes inside them to go outside. Every time I leave, a box or two comes out with me.
That is the smart way of doing it.
Yeah, I might still have some stacks of cardboard boxes with destroyed cardboard boxes in them waiting to go to the garbage bins. Well, the bins outside. So, but unpacking wise, my brother-in-law and sister stopped in yesterday, day before, I think. I don't remember. Saturday?
What is time?
Must have been yesterday. Stopped in, or Friday, one of the two. Don't remember. Friday. Give me a second, I will remember. And they helped me do a bunch of it, so I was able to get a bunch of garbage out and some other stuff unpacked and sorted. So the brother-in-law is going to stop by tomorrow, and he's going to help me hang pictures and do the last of it. So and take out a bunch more garbage for me because it's easier for him to do the stairs than it is for me. He's not wrong.
Fair.
So technically, with full vision, he moves up and down stairs faster than I do.
Whoa, what a concept.
What a concept. So we're going to do that and try to get it done because he's like, oh, you're so close now. I'm like, yep, I almost have a couch. I can see the couch. There's a cedar chest I have to deal with first and stuff on the couch that goes in the cedar chest. And then we're good. And then I got decorations and stuff to do. So, those fiddly bits.
Yep. Yay, fiddly bits.
Fiddly bits. All right, I have dream knitting. I don't know what you've got.
I've got dropped stitches that I need to catch before I put this down.
How are you dropping
Oh,
stitches so often on that sock?
I don't know. It's all the guilt and shame.
Sure. Should tell the guilt and shame to bugger off.
I should. Okay, hang
You
on.
don't
It's
need
just
it.
it's because it's at the beginning of a round and I'm not paying enough attention when I'm pulling my stitches tight at the beginning of the round because I'm doing that magic loop.
Yeah.
And so I'm going yoink and pulling stitches off because they're too close to the end of the needles. Yay. Okay. So in order to generate content for the podcast, I went, hey, there's this basket of more guilt and shame in the background here that's been filled with things that I haven't woven in the ends on. Like all the things that I finished in the last 6 months that I haven't woven in the ends on.
I may
wove in the ends.
I may have warned Diana that it was going to be very light on my end this week. And then today I was like, so I got one. I got one thing.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and I'm like, I need to generate content real fast. How am I going to do that? So I wove in ends. So I have things to talk about that I wove in the ends on.
It's important. It's a step.
Let's see. I think we'll go backwards in time. I think the most recently added to the basket thing was the Jack socks out of some Fireweed Fiber Co yarn, which were the reasonably plain socks with the fun false cable up the side. Really nice. Yep. I finally wove in the ends. Haha. I can wash them and then I can wear them. Haha. So there. Okay, so there's an actual finished object.
I've been wearing my February sock yarn for a while now.
Yeah. I feel like there was a reason for knitting these socks in particular. Like there was a reason I had picked a new pattern or something, and I don't remember what the reasoning behind the pattern choice was.
Oh, you wanted to do a practice run of a sock pattern before the sock summer along earlier this year.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah. And then you were going to give yourself a vanilla sock, which was going to be the Mr. Diana socks, so that you could have a break before you started the pattern socks with your name in July, because you were very excited about that.
And I'm still very excited about them.
Yeah.
But I have to finish the guilt and shame first.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So then going back, let's not punch the microphone. How about that?
I feel like I need to have a little counter at the bottom of the screen that just counts the number of times you punch your microphone every time you record.
Maybe you should. Then I have the Ohmay Tee that was, I think, some other kind of knit along that I actually finished on time because I was so darn excited about the purple. Like that purple though is just anyway. So I finally wove in the ends on this so I can finally wash it and block out the super curly lace at the bottom. And yes, I know there's still an end hanging out. I like to block my things before I cut the ends so that everything is in its final place.
That's fair. Yes, that was the podcast anniversary knit along that we did earlier this year, and that was because we chose words coming out of my mouth are English designers who were not Caucasian.
Yes.
BIPOC designers.
Yeah. And then it had the fun color transition things and the fun lace. And I just loved everything about this. And then was apparently totally done with it and stuck it in the basket and didn't think about it again until today.
Your summer weight t-shirt?
Yeah. That I've not been wearing all summer.
Summer? Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah.
We're so excited because you were done. You were going to wear it this summer.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, we see how well that's been working out.
I'm so glad I made you generate content this week because that needed to be on your person.
Yep. So I think I'm washing some knits tonight.
I believe yes is the answer to that question.
I think so. Okay, and then let's see if I can get this all in my head while I lean over to get the thing that's on the floor. Oh, there we go. I did it. And then I was apparently so excited about this that I did wash it and block it because the points are all nice and pointy at the bottom. So like I washed this and blocked it and did not have the ends woven in. And I recall that I wore it a couple of times and then very carefully tucked in the ends so that they weren't visible. So I finally wove in the ends and trimmed them off. And so like it's finally actually done now. This thing that I finished in like January.
Yeah, because that was the Cozy Up Knits MKAL from earlier this year too.
It was. Yeah, so I finally finished a lot of stuff. And you know how long all of this took me? About an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. So the only thing I have 3 things left in that basket, and they're not end weaving, they're repairs. I have a sock that needs heel reinforcement. I have a hat with a pom-pom that the pom-pom like exploded, so I need to sew the pom-pom back together.
Okay.
Store-bought. And then I have a sweater that's like color work, but what I found a dropped stitch in it, or like some of the yarn broke or something, so I need to sew that back together before it makes a bigger hole. Yeah, so that's what's left, and it's now a basket of repairs.
It's now a basket of repairs.
It's a basket of repairs, not a basket of end weaving.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you took that hour to get all that done.
Weaving your ends, people. It doesn't take that long.
Oh my goodness. All right. In the realm of theoretical knitting, I was talking to Diana before we started recording.
Okay, this is hot. I'm taking it off.
Yeah, it's a little warm for that. I was up at the St. Norbert's Farmers Market on Wednesday, and I finished. I don't have pictures of it, so I gotta when Erin gets back from camping, the lady behind the Fireweed Fiber Co. I need to ask her if she could take pictures of the beanie hat and the kids' hexagon jacket that I made for her, so I can count them for Stash Dash. Oopsies. And count the yardage, like the meterage for it for Stash Dash. But because it was sample knitting, I was paid in yarn, which I'm super fine with. And she gave me these guys, 2 skeins in the DK weight, because I sample knit in DK, or sample crocheted for her in DK. But what I was wearing of hers out of her hand spun, about roughly a DK weight, was her Endless Summer Adventure shawl. And I really, really liked it. I mean, spoiler, it's my pattern. But I still super, super, super liked it. So I wanted to make a DK weight version in not specifically those colors, because, well, guys, they're hand spun. I didn't want to spin and then I just wanted to knit. I didn't want to spin and knit. I just wanted to knit. So we found one similar that I really liked. I took those skeins as payment. And in theory, I will have a label on this tag that I can read. Questions abound. Why am I trying
What
to
is
do
the
this?
color? We need to know.
I know you need to know so you can ogle it. I have care instructions. This is good. It's the Buttercup DK, which is 100% blue flace lustered, 4-ply. It's 225 meters of skein. And it's Segura, Saguaro. It's a little wordy. I'm not sure. I'm guessing on some of the letters, even under the magnifying glass. I'm guessing.
Sangria?
Sagrio?
It almost looks like jaguar, but with an S.
Yes.
I don't know what that word is either.
And I can't
Sorry,
compare
Erin.
it. I can't compare it to the other skein. Oh, yes, I can. There it is. Nope, it's written about the same level. So probably not. And I'm sure it's, guys, it's me. Poor Diana is trying to do this through the computer screen on a web camera.
I do what I can.
Yes, Saguaro. Saguaro.
Saguaro?
That sounds good. Will you say guaro? I could be wrong.
Sure.
Gosh, Erin's correcting me as I'm talking. Jocelyn! Oops.
Sorry, Erin. You picked a word we don't know.
It's not hard. It's not hard. But I love
I need to stop knitting on this sock. I just yanked the needle out of half of the sock. I'm gonna put this down. I'll pick those up later. Luckily, it's on the front of the sock, not the side with the heel. It's stuck to my hand.
You're just being aggressive with that sock.
There's so much guilt and shame, and now just flat out embarrassment with how many times I've screwed up this vanilla sock.
It's like your brother's mittens all over again.
I'm not even trying to be fancy. It's a freaking one sock. I have made so many of these.
That's how we got here with your brother's mittens too, because who needs to read a sock or a mitten pattern? You know how to make basic mittens.
But I've made so many socks. I've made not so many mittens, but I've made so many socks.
You've made a lot of socks. I'm just yeah, let that go for a bit there. I think we're gonna have to give it a moment.
That one's in timeout. The sock is in timeout. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna drink my tea and it's gonna think about what it's done.
Yes, it is. So I didn't technically need a 5th endless summer adventure shawl for myself, but you know what? I'm gonna make it. And since I'm in the process of updating the pattern, it's gonna be my new photo for it too. Because I can, guys. It's my shawl pattern. I can do what I want.
You always need a 5th one of,
everything. Yeah. Sure. I technically own like 7 versions of the same t-shirt in different colors.
Why not? If it works.
I showed Diana my Holst yarn, which I got earlier this year as a gift, and it was amazing. And I super desperately want to make something out of this. It's 4 shades of purple in 50 weight grams. It's Holst Garn, so it's the wool blend. And it's a light fingering. And I was like, what can I pair this with? And then I'm like, wait a minute. I don't have a shawl for it yet, guys. I gotta go find a shawl pattern. I have 2 skeins of, what did we decide this was called? Donegal tweed.
Something like that, yeah.
In gray, which they called silver, and a beige tweed, which they call swilly. From, hang on, Warm Wool Gallery. I've only seen her once at a fiber market before Diana moved, before the pandemic, at a winter fiber frolic that happens, and I'm hoping will happen again post-pandemic, at the St. Norbert's Community Center with the Norwood Knotting Knitters community. So if that picks back up, I mean, I hope I see her again at some point. I haven't tracked her down to see if she's online or anything else, but this is just some beautiful fingering weight tweed that I really like, and I think it'll go great with the purples. So now I just need to find a shawl I want to make with it.
Yes, gray does in fact go well with purple.
It does in fact go well with purple. We have discovered this over the years. So that's my sort of just dream knitting, just things I really want to do. And as stuff comes out of boxes, I'm like, oh, you're so pretty. I gotta make something with you. Because that's how that works. It's like nearly 26 degrees in this apartment and I'm drinking hot beverages.
This room was cool, but now the door's closed and the lights are on, so
Yep. On the bright side, we're done talking about what we've been working on, and we can talk about wool gathering. No. Yarn on the go first, right?
Oh yeah, yarn on the go. Okay, so my misbehaving sock went to Toronto on Friday, which is why I'm so gosh darn tired still, because apparently I can't handle 14 hours out of the house around people anymore.
Guys, it's not the people. It's the fact that she doesn't know how to consume enough liquid.
I do know how to consume enough liquid. I just, neglected to notice what time it was and that I hadn't had anything to drink in like 5 hours. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to feel this tomorrow. And yes, I did feel it on the tomorrow, which was yesterday. And I'm still feeling it today. I drank so much water yesterday. I was like drowning in water yesterday. 2 12-hour sleeps and like 5 liters of water later, I'm like starting to feel better.
You're old now. You can't do that to your body anymore.
Apparently not. Anyway, I took the train in my own dang country for the first time, and that was nice. And I knitted my sock on the train, and it was lovely.
Wonderful. Oh, my yarn on the go was, my yarn literally moved.
All of your yarn, it has gone.
All of my yarn has been out of the house. It's moved to a new location. No, I was weaving in ends on the hexagon baby jacket and sewing a brim on the simple beanie toque. I was able to crochet for Erin as sample crochet bits. So that's mostly what I was working on at the St. Robert's Market. And then I had a little bit of time to get a little bit of sock work done. Woohoo! I'm awake.
We're so awake.
My next big thing for helping Erin is at the Manitoba Fiber Festival, because they're doing the trail again this year. And I told her I'd help all weekend. So
nice.
I'll be 3 full days of knitting fiber goodness. Yeah.
That sounds Glorious.
I'm gonna knit and visit and do all the things.
I feel like I heard recently that there was something like that happening around here, and I need to investigate that further. Anyway, I think it's time for some wool gathering.
It is.
Weekly unscripted Patreon ad.
Hey, this is your show for the weekly unscripted Patreon ad. I just sit back and watch it with great glee and abandon. Yep.
I have just forgotten how I normally start this thing. Gosh, I'm doing well today. It's a kiss, fish, heel, lips, and a totally unscripted Patreon ad. So hey, Patreon's a thing. If you want to financially support us, you can do that at patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. If you do that, then you get early access to bonus content. There is the weekly, bi-weekly, however you want to slice that, Experimental Tuesday blog post, where we usually cook, but sometimes just do something experimental and write a blog post about it. I have more words to say in the form of I'm trying really hard not to look at you because I just laugh. Hey guys, I was in Toastmasters for like 2 years. Can you tell? This is a hot mess.
I try so hard because I know you're just giving it your all.
I know, this is my all today. My all is like 2%. 2% of an all. Discord. We have a Discord. That's a thing that we have. There we go. I remembered. God, I do this every week. But we have a Discord for patrons.
Nope. I'm sorry.
About everything all the time.
I'm done. I'm out. Oh Lord.
Once a month we have that knit in, and the next one of those is, God, I hope I wrote it down, August the 21st. That's this Saturday. Hey, that's in like a few days.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, if you support us on Patreon, keep an eye out for that link. I think we're doing it on Zoom this time.
I believe so. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. What have I forgotten? I've forgotten something. This dumpster fire of an ad. Maybe this is why we don't get ad spots. Nobody wants this.
Listen, people pay for Sam Riegel's spot ads, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he puts like thought and effort into his level of terrible. This is just terrible. This is just naturally terrible.
Well, it makes him feel better. I'll do the ad spots if they're paid for. How does that sound?
That sounds like we can sell them better. God. I'm just going to be over here now.
As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you can't afford to support us on Patreon, we still love you. We still want to talk and communicate with you. You can find us on all sorts of social media platforms. We have a Facebook group that we actually are active in. We have a Ravelry page, which we are not, but the great, incredible Asa always comes to the rescue when it comes to that. It is what it is. We're also very active on the Instagram community, in which case you can find us at all of those places with the handle Northern Knits Podcast. It is a thing that occurs. There are a couple of other perks that happens for people on the Patreon at the entry level free, which is $1 a month. We will get you into the Discord chat. The key thing with the Discord chat is the Discord ladies and us do an advent calendar exchange every year. We exchange pattern links and we share. So if it's one of those you'd like to slightly more than lightly internet stalk us, Discord is the place to be with the Patreon, because we are a little more less filtered with our Discord chats. There's a little more real life happening, whereas our Instagrams and our social media posts in this, I do tend to filter us so that we're not sharing everything under the face of the sun, because I know neither Diana or myself are that kind of people. And in theory, now that my kitchen is mostly unpacked, I have all of my plates and dishes and stuff, I can start doing Experimental Tuesdays again.
Hey,
That's the hope. And we have been discussing and talking about maybe doing some add-ons and changes to the Patreon pages so that it's a little more interactive for everybody. So the theory is always that I'll find time to do this, and one step at a time I clear some stuff off my plate and away we go. So that's going on. We are apparently in the year of the knit-alongs, where there's nothing but knit-alongs all the time.
All the knittlings, all the time.
All the knittlings. Knittlings?
Knittlings.
We are currently running an extended knit log called the Spring Cleaning Cal that can be found on the hashtag of Instagram as hashtag NKP Spring Cleaning Cal. You can also post entries for prizes on the Facebook group page. Those are the only two places to do that. If you don't do it there, I don't see it and we can't count it whenever it finishes. We've extended it by the month. The goal is to have it be those behemoth projects, those 4 skein or more projects. Having said that, I have had a couple of questions about, I've used so much of a 3 skein project that I don't have enough left over to throw into a scrap project somewhere. Just message me on Instagram or message me on Facebook and I'll let you know if your 3 skein project would also count. Our prizes, as always, if it's just through me and Diana, are digital patterns. When we have prize support from other people, I get them to hang on to the stuff and then they mail it directly to you, skips the middle person. Also, then we avoid the gremlins in the machine, which is me doing anything with the internet or mailing. It just, my mother helped transfer
somehow.
all the stuff because Hydro still hasn't found me.
Maybe they'll think you're dead again.
That was the healthcare system.
Oh. You don't live here anymore. Therefore, you've stopped living.
Therefore, I've stopped living. So that's the thing. This is normal for me, guys. This is the kicker, that this is not unusual. To make you laugh. So those things are going on. We are also running the summer sock along Cal. Now, when I say Cal, crochet absolutely counts, guys. I just use KAL because we started off as a knitting podcast. So the summer sock along Cal is going to run for 3 months. That's till the end of September. And it is every completed pair of socks counts. Shorties count, regular socks count, crocheted socks count. The only trick to the socks is they must be adult socks. You can't include children's socks for the Cals. Why? Because there's just more work involved in an adult large sock and a kid sock. We gotta draw the line and find the balance somewhere, and that's where we've sort of generally decided to draw the line and find the balance for everybody. So that is how that's working. Whips are welcome, any patterns are welcome. However, this is where we sales plug Nikki Knits, who is the reason for the summer sock along Cal this year. She is designing socks named after us. The first pair was Diana, which came out in July, first thing when we started the knit along, and the Jocelyn socks are going to be available for you guys hopefully by this Wednesday, barring any complicated life problems, because you know what? Life does not ask if you've got time this week to deal with something. It just gifts you things all the time.
Oh, that's a very diplomatic, generous way of phrasing that.
Likes to gift you things. So that's going on. So with any luck, the socks patterns have been released. If the sock pattern is up and released, you will find out in the lovely show notes that Diana will have made for all of you guys. The link is in the description box below for everyone. Or you can go to www.northernknitspodcast.com, which is our webpage. Conveniently enough, where the show notes are located.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you will have the link to the pattern as well as the coupon code, because they be new socks. She puts her new socks on sale for a little bit for the first bit. So grab your Jocelyn socks or start a pair of Diana socks, or finish one of 15 pairs of socks you have on the go right now. I don't know what your sock life is like.
We all do. We all have too many pairs of socks. We all have multiple pairs of socks. Don't even try to say otherwise.
It's fine. I'm not judging you. I have multiple pairs of socks on the go. And if I had more sock needles, I'd have more socks on the go. That is how that would work. And I know that. And I live too close to the wool store. So this whole I don't have enough needle problem could decidedly be solved real quick.
Oh, no. And you stopped the bakery on the way back. So you've got new needles and the yarn was on sale. And you just had to get some lovely scones on the way home. And it's a hardship.
Well, I mean, you got to go to the wool store. And then you got to support local businesses on the way home. And then, of course, the Stella's Bakery sells haystack cookies and has lemonades.
Well, yeah.
And the Stella's iced tea.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's so going to become a thing for me, guys. So there's also 2 vegan vegetarian restaurants between here and my local grocery store now.
Sweet.
So happy. I'm so happy right now. And I'm within a 30-minute walk of O'Donuts.
You've got everything.
Everything. I'm super good. I'm also close to my specialists, which is why we picked this area of town.
Nice.
So I'm close to my specialists, which was the key point.
My God, you're close to things now. Oh my God.
I know. I can actually do things. It's not an hour one way just to get somewhere now because of transit.
Well, I mean, some things will still be because buses, but most things will not be. That's amazing.
It's a huge improvement for me over the suburbs. So having said that, are we done? No, there's one more. We are going to start a KAL 1st of
Yes,
September.
we're starting a KAL.
You were confused, weren't you? You're like, well, how's
Like,
there
which,
one more?
which thing? One more what thing? I don't know. I have a
One
few
more what
other
now?
things. Yeah.
We're starting a winter accessories KAL. It's going to start the 1st of September. The key rules to that is color work-ish. So if you're not entirely sure, send me a message. I'll let you know if it's good or not. Otherwise, generally color work. So your stranded color work, your regular ye old basic color work. Then double knitting, what else we say? Mosaic, interlock, things that look like color work would also count for color work. But if you're not terribly sure, please Instagram, DM me, or drop it in the message in the Facebook group and do a post, and we'll do that as we get closer, because we're going to be releasing details shortly in the more defined range of it's time to pick projects, it's time to get going. I think I'm going to have one hashtag for the 3 months, even though I know you and I are going to focus on different articles each month. So there's going to be a socks focus for 1 month, a cowl focus for 1 month, a hat or a headband focus for another month, sort of help narrow everybody down for things. Because you go looking for color work accessories and oh my goodness, the rabbit hole you will fall down.
I think I need to make some kitten mittens for my brother for Christmas. He specifically requested. And now he's got a kitten that I need to go find the appropriate colors for.
That won't be hard. It's a great kitten.
Yeah.
Terribly easy. And it also parlays into a gift that I got, a very belated birthday present from the other Jocelyn, who decidedly does a lot of work with the Drop Spinners Guild group here in the city. She drops spins, and she gave me some of her hand spun as a birthday present.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Because we had a extraordinarily crappy birthday last year. Both her and I have March birthdays.
Oh, yeah.
So this was her gift to me, because I think it was like my birthday dinner last year, and then we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
That's how that worked for me. I went, oh, cool.
Yeah, so I think your birthday dinner was like that weekend right before.
Yeah.
It was like the last thing.
The last thing most of us did was the birthday dinner, and then whoosh, everything shut down. I'm like, okay. And she has the tag on it where she has all the information, so I can actually say the things. So this was all originally, can you tell I live downtown now? It was all originally drop spun, but plied on a wheel, which is still impressive, because my gosh, I know how to
the process of turning fluff into string is eternally magical to me.
Oh, it is.
I know how it works. I can even do it to some extent, and it's just eternally magical. Well, same with turning a heel. It's just eternally magical.
Eternally magical, yeah. The fiber was from Melting Pot Fibers. It's 100% chevrot, CHEVROT. It's 100 grams at about approximately 286 yards. So I'm like a DK weight. So I'm thinking, given that it's these beautiful, beautiful reddy orange colors, that I need to pair it up with some navy. Ooh. Or deep gray. And I think this has to be a pair of colorwork mittens with this variegated being the color work. So I just need to decide what color work pattern I want to use. And don't get me wrong, I'm kind of tempted. One of the girls dropped a link in the Discord, pattern links, and it says cold as F on a pair of mittens.
Yes.
So I think that might actually happen.
I want just because so much.
Long floats are, they're annoying, but they're dealable. You can deal with them. Mm-hmm. Or I could just leave them as long floats and double line them, and then have make fingering mittens to my size that fit really well, and then have them with the, what's that stuff you thrumming? Mm-hmm. So the thrumming's on the outside of the fingering mittens, and then make the bigger size mittens that would go over top. So then I have fingering weight yarn, thrumming, DK weight yarn, and I have a double thick mitten for the cold as F days. I can wear my cold as F mittens, and they're double.
Oh gosh, those would be heckin' warm. Oh, I love it.
Which would be perfect for mittens that say cold as F. Guys, there's a swear word. That's why I stop at the letter. We're not always family friendly.
We do try, but
we're atomically correct. We try to keep the swear words as low as possible. Given the number of times I've walked into boxes today, we're just like, I'm not just swearing, period. My toes should be different colors. But that's my other wool gathering. I have this beautiful hand spun yarn, and it must become something as soon as possible. So it's something it's what I'm casting on September the 1st for the fall accessories cal. With that, we've got lives coming up, obviously, because those things are going on. The priority point for the lives is that's also the weekend when I do my next check-in with Louise. We do the first live of the month, and we have the cast on party. So we had to find a balance because I have to be online 3 times in the span of 4 days.
Yeah, that's a lot of internet, I'm realizing.
And that's like not this coming weekend, but like the weekend after.
That's like 2 weekends away. Okay, so you're live with Louise on Wednesday, September the 1st.
Yeah, instead of the
on
Thursday.
Her channel.
Yeah, on her channel, because she's going out of town. She's gonna go do a camping thing. So we're gonna chat on the Wednesday instead of the Thursday. So it'll be 6:30 Manitoba time for the next monthly check-in with me and Louise to see how we did on our goals for the month. Sneak peek, I moved. So there's not been a lot of progress on my goals this week.
Moving is a solid reason to not have had a lot of knitting time. Like, it's okay.
Are you sure? I've got a crochet project, a knit project, and a spinning project.
But you moved. It's okay.
I forgot what the knitting project is, so I actually have to go back and watch the last check-in to remember what it is.
You forgot your own promise?
Doing great.
Wow. Good job. Professional.
Swing. So,
super profesh.
Guess what I'm doing tonight once we're done this?
Oh my god. Okay.
Hey, listen, I found the drop spindle for the spinning project I'm supposed to be working on. Not sure what the fiber is for it yet, but we've located half the project.
That's half the battle.
Half the battle, guys. Oh, but that is all told. Diana can give you the dates for the other lives because I've been talking pretty solid. That's ad lib, and that is how you ad lib like a pro.
Yes. Okay, so September 1st on Wildflower and Wool is you, and then we're doing our colorwork winter accessories hashtag to be determined cast on party, because we always do a live cast on party. That will be on Friday, September the 3rd, because that is the first day that I have off of work.
We're doing that Manitoba noon?
Manitoba noon sounds good.
Okay.
Then
we hadn't decided a time, so I was like, what time do I have to be free for that?
The usual time, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Well. Yeah. And then we will have our usual first of the month live that Sunday on I guess that will be the 5th. Also at noon Manitoba time. Because you won't be totally sick of us yet. Gosh, I don't know. But yeah, we'll be live on the internet for 6 combined hours in 4 days.
Give or take, yep.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Coffee. Make sure have coffee.
At the start of a cal or at the start of the month, it's a lot of live for me.
Also make sure to finish something before then for myself. Just finish something, anything. Weaving the goddamn ends. I mean the gosh darn ends. We're family friendly.
It's like, I just did a thing.
I'm unimpressed with myself today. Didn't weave in my ends. It only took me an hour. I ripped so many stitches off of my sock needle. Like an entire half a sock is no longer on a needle right now. And I'm just eternally unimpressed with myself today.
Today is not your day.
It's just this past hour or so. I'm just unimpressed with myself.
Today is not your day.
It's not my day. It's not been my day.
It happens. Hey, on the bright side, we've plowed through most of it. So all really that's left is the bookings.
Yeah. We have the same number of books this week.
We do. That's because I have a huge book.
Fair.
Oh goodness. I finished making my way through Trapped, which was the next book in the Iron Druid series that I was reading by Kevin Hearn. I still thoroughly enjoy the series. I am having a great deal of fun. It's a delightful sort of action, adventure, urban fantasy kind of style book, which is right up my alley. Oberon is still my favorite character. He's the dog.
Okay.
But I'm thoroughly enjoying the books. And I'm at what? That's 5. So I've like 2 more in the main series, and then I'm done the main series, which is good. I'm not really a read sub-series, like the adjacent book sort of person. So that'll be that for me. I did not get a chance to listen to any Amelia Peabody this week. Kind of disappointed about that because there's more Amelia Peabody adventures to listen to, and it is so relaxing. Super need to do that. I did, however, have books come up at the library, and those certainly have deadlines. So I started listening to The Great Hunt, which is the second book in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. That's 702 pages, and I looked, and I'm about 80% done. So
That's not bad.
there's been a lot of just days of 10 plus hours unpacking
Fair.
and compacting cardboard boxes and stuff. That's excellent for listening to books with, because really
Yeah.
we're soaking in my clawfoot tub.
Gosh,
I've
that sounds
become
great.
I'm a daily bath person is what I've become.
Maybe I'll have a bath tonight. A bubble bath with an audiobook. Oh yeah.
I know it occurred to me I need bath bombs. I haven't had bath
Yes.
bombs in years because I've only had a shower. Now I have a bathtub, so I feel like I gotta go get.
Oh my god, I have a bath bomb. I got random work swag in the form of a bath bomb.
Mhm.
What am I doing with my life? Okay.
I don't know.
This
Having
is the
a
new plan
bath.
for the evening.
Good plan.
Yes, that's what I'm doing with myself. That's what I'm doing with my life.
Good plan. I'm gonna go and get bath bombs sometime in the next month, so I can do that too. And at some point, buy a second shower curtain so I can shower.
Yes. Also important.
Also important. So those are the 2 books I'm making my way through. I enjoy the Wheel of Time series of books. They are definitely aged. They definitely show their age and their storytelling techniques, but there's nothing wrong with sliding back into something you've read before, or on a scale and in a writing concepts that you understand. But keep in mind, it's not like a lot of the more progressive fantasy stories I tend to read. We have some pretty iconic tropes going on that I'm like, ooh, if we were published now, it would be a problem.
Oh.
Yep.
Got some lovely female characters that are only there to be a thing to move the male characters' plot along.
Oh, they're there and they're independent and they do their own things. So it's not quite as bad as like what's that other one I like listening to on and off all the time? Oh man, I've gone and forgotten it. I'll remember it. David Eddings' book. David and Lee Eddings. So there's some ones I've read that are definitely worse, definitely products of their time. But yeah, there's some structures to cultures and stuff where I'm just like,
Books. Yeah. It is 6 hours post coffee, so the coffee crash happens now.
We could have recorded earlier. You could have suggested earlier.
No, but when you said the time, and I'm like, yeah, that's like a nice amount of time that'll let me like finish weaving in all the ends and like get dressed slowly and like figure out what tea I'm gonna make. So like it was a good time for that.
Okay, good.
But now it's like, oh hey, this is the caffeine crash right here, right now.
Your turn to talk about your books.
Books. I am somehow still not done The Martian. It is fantastic. I really thoroughly enjoy it. I really thought I would finish it on the train to and from Toronto on Friday. But then I was apparently enthralled by the stuff outside my window and did not listen to an audiobook at all on the way there. And on the way back, I was so exhausted, I basically slept. So that did not get finished. But The Martian is really excellent.
Props to the train station and their marketing platform for cleaning for COVID measures, because dang, they had some nice marketing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So good.
We're cleaning every nook and cranny. Wait, what's a cranny?
What's a cranny?
Oh
gosh, so good.
Go Transit. Your marketing person is
on point. They're doing a great job. Yeah, beautiful. Hey, on the bright side, maybe I'll re-listen to The Martian this week.
Didn't you like just listen to it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy it. It's like the Bobaverse series. I think I've re-listened to that one like 4 or 5 times.
It does have just like a nice sort of conversational tone. It's comforting.
That's what I'm thinking.
Then the other one that I started this week was the Gilded Dinosaur, which has been on my bookshelf for an embarrassing number of years, and I'm finally reading it.
Okay, that's good.
It is not about dinosaurs precisely. It's more about the state of the scientific community in the early mid 1800s in America.
Okay.
So it's about the drama. It's primarily about the drama between Cope and Marsh, who are like some of the first like official paleontologists.
I know.
The drama, like I'm on chapter like 4 or 5, and the drama already is like
It's big.
it's a
big.
soap opera. It is a soap opera. They're stealing each other's fossils and like, oh, it's good. And there's like still another 250 pages of I don't even know what's coming. I'm so excited for this. But it's also just really interesting to hear about like science as we currently understand it is like barely 200 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it was that young. I also didn't realize that a lot of the early museums got their really cool like animal skeletons from P.T. Barnum, because he had the money to import this stuff. And then once the animals died, because of course they didn't know how to take care of this stuff properly, so once the poor animals died, he'd sell them to the museums.
Yep.
Like, okay. Hey, capitalism and science.
You
Just really
need
interesting.
to take more history courses.
Yeah, apparently. This is an area of history that I know nothing about, and I'm so excited to be learning about it. It's dinosaur adjacent.
Yeah. Yay!
Anyway, the Gilded Dinosaur, wonderful old white guy drama. I'm enjoying it.
History is interesting.
It really is. They teach it in such a horrible way in school, and so everybody thinks it's boring, and it's not.
History is super cool. History is so cool.
Could so make a movie out of this book already, and I'm only a few chapters in.
I've spent hours discussing the development of teacups. Just
teacups.
Yeah. Shape, size, orientation. How did the English tea service come about? Just the development of the concept of tea as we know it now.
I love history in that format. That's great.
Cool.
But this person did this thing in this year for reasons that we're not going to touch on, because that's the interesting part.
It's hard. It's a big subject. Anybody who studies history will tell you that we know like this much about a space this big in the timeline, and history is like this big.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Dionysian artwork in the village of Pompeii before the eruption of Vesuvius? I'm on there. I studied it for like almost 2 years.
But you want to talk about part of history I didn't know existed?
Roman art as a general? Yeah, I could probably be okay. But boy, I studied this painting really in depth. Like the painting I know.
History, man, it's wild.
Herculaneum. Pompeii and Herculaneum are the two cities that were taken out by the big. Everybody knows about Pompeii, but Herculaneum is the other one, and it's not as well known.
I hear it's actually like better preserved in some ways, and it's because less people know about it. It's actually better to go to as a tourist because there's less people there.
There's less people. It's less well known. It's been excavated later, so we do it with less damage, and we started. What are they restoring it? Like we started knowing that we had to maintain it because we could see the wear and tear, and it was too late on the Pompeii site because we didn't know to do it then. It's the same way as when they started Egyptology. Like and I mean, it is what it is. It's our history. People took stuff and didn't remark on, when they found it, where they found it. So we have a vague idea of what it is, but we can't place it for sure.
It went off to Europe to be in a cabinet of curiosities.
It went off anywhere to be in a cabinet of anything. It wasn't just Europe.
Fair.
Any historical community or culture has been pilfered by the one that comes after.
I mean,
It
they
just
just made
depends on
such
who can
cool
make it.
stuff. Gotta take the cool stuff. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, we all do it.
Anyway, that's what I've been reading.
All right. On the bright side, we're done. So we can say
Yeah.
until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
No matter where your week takes you, don't forget
to knit.
So much
upset
sock.
with this sock right now. I'm so angry at it. It's gonna sit there. It's gonna think about what